Seems like we all disconnected. Stay tuned in, but we all neglected. Sometimes the message isn't conveyed the way we say in a text. Blocked numbers start to feel like death. Closed casket ghosting each other saying it's for the best. Lost numbers, lost connections, so much going on in my head. Wanted to reach out, but the relationship seemed dead. Phone on 2%, battery getting low, energy need recharging. Phone on silent, gotta go harder. Tunnel vision to distractions. Block out the world for the passion. In my bed I lay when I think of the reception. And the perception we get when a phone isn't answered or a text is missed. Got me wondering where my best friends went. Where them blessings went. Wake up call, sometimes some things ain't meant. Let you off the hook, we all going through shit. Said I would call you back after this. My phone never dies, but my friends I lay to rest.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Symone Titania, and we are back for another episode of The Indie Seat.
So, yeah, this is Austin all day.
And today we have Nina. What's up, Nina? How you doing?
Good, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm so happy you could join us.
Thank you, I'm happy to be here.
You're a writer.
Yes.
What do you write?
I write about everything, just past experiences, present experiences, future experiences, other experiences that aren't always mine, but things that I've witnessed and things like that. I just write about anything that comes,
How do you feel about sharing other people's experiences, and how do they feel about you sharing their experiences?
So if I write something that I know I'm gonna put out and it's not about me specifically, I'll definitely get that confirmation, yes, you could do this or no. I've definitely had times where I had to learn that, the process of asking somebody, can I share this? Mm-hmm. But it's definitely a process of just making sure that somebody's okay with me sharing their story.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I get that because I'm a documentary photographer,
you know?
Yeah. And so I tell stories through my photography, but sometimes you realize that someone else's story is actually a part of yours. So
right.
In a sense, it's also your story too.
That's true.
And so you do spoken word poetry, right?
Yes, spoken word, poetry, anything. I write books. I just write. So that's why I just go by a writer instead of a poet, because I feel like a poet is just kind of limiting for me, because I just write in general.
Okay, Nina Mosley, I got you. So what are your goals for your writing? Do you plan on putting out a book soon?
Yeah, so I'm in the making of writing 2 books right now. I tried to focus on just one book, but it's just that I had a lot of thoughts in my brain. So it's I'm separating them and I'm writing them simultaneously at the same time. So that's what's happening. My goals are to just put out as much work as possible, whether it's books, whether I'm, touring, doing open mics and things like that with my poetry. It's just to reach as many people as possible.
Very nice. Have you ever put your poetry to music, or have you ever collaborated with artists,
music
artists?
So I collaborated before Notice 1K. I collaborated with Jay Isaiah. Shout out to him. He's a really good rap artist. He was like, can I have one of your poems to throw on my track? It was like an interlude. So I did that. Then I worked with Notice 1K. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's basically it. My little discography of work that I have right now.
So far, yeah. And so when they reach out to you, is it based on a certain topic, or do they just ask you to write whatever on your mind right then and there and then send it to them?
So the first time he was just I just want this poem. So I just gave it to him. It just happened to mesh with whatever he was doing for his album. Notice 1K gave me a topic, and I just kind of went with it. And luckily, everything just pieced together when I wrote it, and it was a great experience. So I'm able to do topics, because I said, I write for other people. So if you give me a topic, I just have to decipher it and then go from there.
Nice.
Yes.
Now, when you are on Instagram and you're putting your poetry out there and you're writing for the world to see, are you doing this weekly? Is it more of a sporadic thing? Do you plan for it?
Oh, it's definitely sporadic.
Okay.
Because inspiration strikes at different times, and I don't always record when I'm doing my poetry, because I have tons and tons of work, but there's just sometimes I have to put this out, and it'll be sporadically. So sometimes I post one here, 1 week, another week, and then I'll be gone for months.
Yeah.
So that's just something I'm working on the consistency, because I build up the hype, and then sometimes I'll go ghost for months, and people where's your work?
Right.
And then I come back. But yeah, I'm definitely working on the consistency.
Do you ever feel the pressure of having to be consistent, or do you just say, look, this is my creative process, and I'll be back when I'm back?
I feel like society puts that pressure on you have to be consistent, or people are going to forget about you. So it's that pressure sometimes, but I just had to like have that talk with myself. Like the way I'm gonna do it is the way I'm gonna do it, and the people that support are gonna support, whether it's a month from now or years from now. But my goal is to be consistent, not due to the pressure of society, but just due to me and what I want for the standard for myself.
That sounds like a poem right there. Now, when did you start writing?
I've been writing since I was like 5 years old. Like honestly, I just used to write poems. Writing was my favorite subject. English was my favorite subject, so it just came naturally. But when I knew I had like real talent is when a teacher pulled me aside and like, hey, your like story writing is so good. I was in like 6th grade and she was like, you're writing on like a college level. This is some deep stuff. I remember it was a story about love actually. And she was like, you're only like, what, 12 or something like that? She was like, how do you know all of this? And so I say I take other people's experiences and I put it into work. And she was like, you know, you have so much wisdom, you need to share it with the world. And since then, I've just been taking off.
Wow, who are some of your favorite poets?
So when it comes to that question, I always go to like Tupac, because I feel like that's a real poet.
Yeah.
Cole, because of the storytelling, that just sounds like poetry. His music sounds like poetry to me, so Cole, Tupac. I don't know if you know Raina Biddy is another poet, spoken word poet that I listen to. So people like that. I take like a lot of the, I guess, inspiration from a lot of rappers, but like storyteller rappers, conscious rappers. Yeah.
Well, I just want to let you know it's so refreshing to have poets that are actually collaborating with artists. You know, like another artist that does that is Rhapsody. I don't know if you know her. But
absolutely.
It's so dope to hear her do poetry and or rap when she's collaborating with another artist. It just kind of gives a song a break, you know, and it tells a story even more. Did you study writing in school?
I didn't.
Okay. You're just like...
I'm actually, I have a bachelor's in psychology. Yeah. But I feel like that kind of goes hand in hand, connecting with people, learning the mental, and that's what I put in my writing. So I feel like it's all full circle.
Yeah. Did you take any creative writing classes in college? No.
None of that.
Wow. So how do you challenge yourself? How do you keep challenging yourself to grow and develop as a writer?
So what I do is I buy different like journals and things like that have different writing prompts that have like, you know, write this many times a day or write about this topic. So that's how I keep myself fresh with the writing. I do want to try to start like taking creative writing classes just to, you know, up myself and be like, okay, I did this and my writing's on this level. So it's just grow.
Do you plan on doing any short stories? Are you sticking straight to poetry?
Oh no, there's no limit. So I plan on putting out the books, like I said, short stories, anything that I feel like I can do or connect with somebody, I'm gonna do that. So short stories is something I do for fun, actually. So that's just a hobby, but if I can put something out and it reaches somebody, then I continue to do that. I also want to start a blog.
Okay.
So that's the next thing that I'm working on as well.
Nice. And on that blog, it will be your poetry, your writing?
My poetry, just different topics. So the plan is to ask different people on Instagram, like different topics, and just go from there.
Nice.
Try to post a blog every week.
Are you planning on doing like an open forum too? Can people write poetry on there, or is it basically we go there and we're going to be reading your writing?
I was thinking more letting it be discussion based, just because I'm all for connection and seeing what people have to say and all of those things. So definitely an open forum would probably be the best route.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys? We are right here at WUUL Studios. This is where we are shooting the Indie Seat. And we want to thank WUUL Studios so much because they are one of our community supporters, and we appreciate all our community supporters. If you're an artist or business looking for a place to shoot anything that you can think of, they can do it, okay? So hit up WUUL Studios. They do hourly rentals, and you can book it right on their website. It's really simple, WUULstudios.com. Thank y'all so much. Again, check out WUUL Studios, and make sure you're checking out the Indie Seat too. All right, y'all. Peace. Thank you. How do you feel the poetry community is here in Miami and or Broward?
I would say, just from my experience, it's kind of lacking for me. I don't really have a poetry community. I more have like with artists like rappers and things like that is my community. So I don't really know how to answer that because I don't really connect with poets. I connect with like writers and rappers, but I guess in my eyes, those are poets.
They really are. I was going to say, I mean, that's a perfect community right there because rappers are poets. They're rapping to a beat.
Right.
You know, they're writing or speaking to a beat.
Exactly.
So do you plan on collaborating with anyone soon for another song or another track?
I'm always open to collabing with anybody. Yeah. So the way me and Notice 1K met was just at an open mic he was doing, and we got each other's Instagrams, and it just flowed from there. He was like, I want to work with you. I was like, your music's dope, and that's just how it happened. So anything that happens organically, that way, I'm open to it.
Yeah.
So I hope, and I put it in the universe to be working with a lot of artists.
Okay, and what are you going to be performing for us today on the Mango Sessions?
So I'm going to be performing Unplugged, which is the intro track to Notice's EP. My Phone Never Dies, But My Friends Do. So that's what I'll be performing.
What's the longest spoken word performance you've ever done?
I think one was like 5 minutes. Ooh. But that was me just getting off a lot of stuff. That's not even out. I ain't even put that nowhere because that was just too much. Like, people would have been calling my phone hot. So I just kept that to myself.
How do you remember your poetry?
So my process is writing it a few times, then I'll record myself doing it, then I'll listen to the recording, go line by line, and do it that way. It takes me probably about, I would say 30 minutes to memorize the poem.
Yeah, do you ever give yourself freedom to kind of mess up when you're performing? Or if you get stuck on a word, do you just like, oh, dang, I can't believe I did that?
I mean, I'll improvise, but I'll probably beat myself up about it later.
After?
Yeah.
All artists do. It's natural. And you're originally from Miami or you're from Broward?
No, I'm actually from Texas.
You from Texas?
Yes, I'm from Texas.
Wow. What part of Texas you from?
I grew up in El Paso, Killeen, those areas in Texas. And then my family's from here. So I was in the military for a little bit of time. And then I moved back here.
When you were in the military, were you also still writing throughout that process?
Absolutely.
What is the difference between Texas and Miami? And do you feel that there's a major difference in the art industry?
In the art industry.
Yeah.
Texas is just a more, how do you explain? I would say like slower.
Okay.
So just to compare the music, if you listen to Florida music, it's way faster. If you listen to like Texas, it's like slowed and chopped and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a big difference already. The Texas swag is a little different too as well as far as artists go. I feel like they're more low-key. I feel like out here it's a little more up-in-your-face type rap, things like that.
It really is. Yeah, I kind of miss that chop and screw, chop.
Exactly.
Screw, chop. If you can offer any advice to a writer, spoken word artist, poet, who is afraid to put their work out there, what type of advice would you give them? You can say it right there. So
my advice would be to make peace with your writing, make peace with yourself, and just put it out. Just do it. Don't, look back at it. Just click the send or go to the open mic, perform it, and just do your thing. And just know that if you want to put some work out, just put it out and know that people are going to resonate and connect. That's my big thing. Just think about the connection of it. Think about who you're going to reach and go from there. And I feel like once you do that, it won't be no question about putting your work out or not.
All right, y'all. Well, that was another episode of the Indie Seat. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you stick around for Mango Sessions as well. And peace.
I am everything they thought I was and nothing they could have imagined. Fueled with passion, my mind stay crashing, never lacking, only packing with this heart I wear on my sleeve. Hands on knees as I catch my breath because I'm steady chasing dreams. Told myself I would conquer wealth at the age of 17. Made some mistakes, but never mistook that this was all a part of the dream. God's time and I'm climbing, but always find time to show love every step of the way. I admit at one point I got lazy and unmotivated, but I had bounced back from that day. Thought a uniform would save me, and in a way it did, but really it made me take a look in the mirror and have that conversation about who I want to be. But I have never been uniform, as I reassure myself that sometimes we have to fall to truly realize our strength and potential. I wasn't meant to work no 9 to 5 or to be handling a weapon with the power of taking lives, because I'm meant for saving lives. I'm saving lives, taking guns out of hands pointed at heads one line at a time. It should be a crime to not offer a shoulder when you see someone crying. I'm not lying when I say I want to save the world. When I say I want to touch the hearts of little black boys and little black girls, and all boys and girls and people who have ever felt alone, who have ever contemplated taking their lives because living felt so wrong. I want to be strong for everyone who's feeling weak. It's been weeks that turned into months since I felt the spirit take over my pen and speak for me. But here I am, back again, anointed all over, spreading the word of love and pushing past these tribulations like a boulder. If you have someone you love, then you should show them, because in all actuality, all we have are moments. So when you see that persons are persons, you hold them, because tomorrow isn't promised. So embrace it. Live life. Don't waste it. And if you are asleep, then stay dreaming, as long as you chase it.
What's up, guys? That's right, it's your girl Symone Titania, and I am in the building today to tell you about our sponsor, Epiphanii. Epiphanii hair and body care products is my go-to, okay? A lot of y'all be reaching out to me about my hair, and I'm gonna tell you straight up, this is what makes me do what I do and be great even on those days that I am waking up for the NDC and can't be great. I just spray myself with a little Ajabu spray. This has a little bit of tea tree, aloe, and everything you need to keep you fresh for your body and your hair. This right here, this is the shea butter, okay? It's Ajabu shea butter, and yes, you can use them both together. I use it for my hair and for my body. This is to set my styles when I do my braid outs, my twists, to keep my feet moisturized, if you know what I mean. And this right here, everyone can use. This is a little bit of light and breezy oil, and you could put this on your face. Singers, you can even put this a little bit on your fingers and put it right up in your throat, and it just relaxes you right before your performance. And this is called light and breezy oil. Anyway, I just wanted to come straight to you guys because I get the question all the time, but this is the answer, okay? Epiphanii hair and body care products made right here in Miami, Florida by a beautiful black woman, okay? And make sure you support EpiphaniiHairandBodyCare.com. Thank you so much for always supporting us, Epiphanii. Peace.